Hi everyone, this is Allan McKay. Welcome to Video7. I'm really excited for this one. This is the final video in the crash course. And it's actually a bit of a bonus video. Obviously, we've finished our shot at this point, but I wanted to go back in and showcase something that I think will be really fun and valuable, especially for all of us who have Video Copilot's optical flares, which is kind of the industry standard when it comes to creating lens flares, and definitely a lot of fun. Now, if you don't have this, you can still utilize this approach for a lot of different tools, but either way, I think it'll be a fun insight to share. So what we're going to be doing is we're actually going to go and get our 3D camera, and we're going to export that out of Max and bring it in as an Alembic into Nuke. And in 3D, we're actually going to position and create lens flares over all the lights in the shot. And the cool thing is that we already have a tracked camera, so this will be a way for us to take advantage of that to automatically get lens flares happening from all of the different light sources. And this is just something to really enrich our shot and make it even better, so it should be a lot of fun. Okay, so let's dive in. Okay, so I've got this camera match move here, and what I thought would be cool is in comp to add lens flares to these lights, and that way it just kind of automatically create some kind of flare around it, maybe a corona on the screen, based on like where the camera's moving, and to do that automatically. So having a 3D match moved camera, I thought it'd be pretty straightforward if I wanted to just create some null points just to kind of represent where these lights are. So I'm just going to drop in some squares really quick. And I'm just going to move these into position. I need to scale them down a little bit. But just having something there that I can drop in. Obviously, if they're lens flares, they're not going to respect the objects. I'm just doing this as reference. So I'm going to need to find a frame where that other light is visible. So, you know, I won't spend much time on this. It's more just the concept that I want to showcase. But I'll get this one last one, duplicate over here. Okay, so I might spend a bit of time just match moving these, making sure that they are in the correct spots. But overall, like the key thing is that I'm just going to export this out, because again, having a 3D camera, it means I don't need to track anything. It's already done. So I'm just going to export this out as an Alembic. So I'm just going to say my lights. I should do whatever I want to call it. Alembic, save, and then have the animation just in case. But that should be it. Just going into Nuke now, and I want to use optic flares for this from Video Copilot. It's been out forever, but I just finally bought a license earlier this week and I've been checking it out. It's really cool. So I figured that could work really well for this. So what I might initially do is do a keyer light, plug this in, merge this on top, and I would just do a pre-mult and a glow. So with the keyer, I would just do this specifically just to pull something like that, depending on how much I want to keep, and then do a pre-mult, just that way it pulls in that information, and that could do a bit of a glow on top, and then reintroduce that to get a little bit of flare, and that could just be kind of fun just to have something like that. Now, the critical part here is going to be that I want to bring in my Alembic cache. So doing a regeo. So I'm just going to say create separate nodes. It's going to pull in a camera. It's going to pull in these objects. So I had a sphere as well. I had in there as well, but these three boxes represent the lights. So that's pretty much it. I just need to drop in a scene node, plug my camera in. And from there, it's pretty straightforward. I just need to load in optical flare, or optical flares. So just connect this. The key thing is to set this to 3D and to plug that into the scene. Now, what I need to do at this point is, let's just go into 3D space for a second. You can see where these lights are. Now, what I want to do, and I'm sure there's probably an easy way to snap these into place if I exported nulls or something like that, but I'm just going to quickly drop in a light and plug this bad boy in. Oops. And I'm just going to manually move these into place. So that's why, like, I could just drop the camera in by itself, but I figure having those lights there that I positioned in 3D, whatever it would be, this would just be a chance for me to use these as reference. So I'm just going to align these three really quickly. And because these are aligned, go 3D and let's just pick something in here. I'm just going to throw the tiny light in here. Hit OK. And just make sure it's all the same resolution. Okay, so that works pretty well. I'm just going to quickly adjust this really quick. But overall, all I've done is in 3D, I just exported out some positions of where I imagined these lights would fit. And from there, because it's a 3D camera, there's now flares built up for these. And obviously these are a little intense, but you can get some kind of nice, subtle flare going on like that. So that's kind of what it looks like. And the cool thing is, it just means that because I have a camera track, I can just throw it in, and then whatever lights I choose, it's automatically going to create the flare. It's got a little corona, a little schmutz, like screen dirt, you know, defocusing on there. All of this comes in for free, and it means that, you know, camera pans up to the left, we get halo there. All this is automatically in there. I don't need to track it and track when they come on and off. It's all in 3D. So I thought that's kind of cool. I saw in the documentation it touches on this, but I couldn't find anything that was really in-depth about it. So I just figured it might be fun to just at least showcase like how to, you know, quickly create some points in 3D space, and then drop it all in here and just going to get that kind of set up to work automatically. And there might be other material out there that's already covered this. And if there's anyone who wants to elaborate on it, I'd love to hear your thoughts too. But again, just as a quick hack that kind of gives me some extra kind of atmosphere to my shot, it looks kind of neat. This is the finished effect, which is actually 2 lens flares. So that sphere that I had in the center, I just added a separate lens flare specifically for that. But as you can see, we have the light flares on each light. The cool thing was I was also able to get the particle effect in the center and use that to occlude everything. So there's a lot of controls in there to do that as well. But yeah, you know, just for kind of slapping stuff together, I'm usually quite allergic to lens flares. I try and avoid going overboard, but for this being more of a sci-fi feel, I kind of decided to go the other direction and go over the top. But it's kind of fun to utilize that and get something really intense, but you know, without having to manually manage all that stuff. And again, going back to this version, like the subtlety of it is what I really like. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that video. Like I said, this is more of a bonus and it should be something really fun. Now, although I said that this is the final video and that there's 7 videos, I lied. There's more. I'm going to be sending you as much as I can in the time that we have left. So June 24 is the cutoff for all of this training in this free crash course. However, I'm still going to be sending you as much information, videos, resources as I can. So I've got a few extra things up my sleeve that I want to share with you, but I'm going to leave it as a little bit of a surprise. So check your inbox the next couple of days. I'm going to be sending you new videos. I'm going to be touching on some coding with Python and MaxScript. I'm going to be getting into some industry talks that I've given at different events around the world, some additional effects lessons and other goodies. So like I said, I want to give as much as I can in the time that we have, and this is a chance for you to really make the most of it. I think it's great that you've gone this far, and I want you to keep pushing yourself and continuing to grow and investing in yourself as much as possible. Of course, if you want to sign up for the mentorship, I would be excited to have you in there and get to know you and spend a year training you, mentoring you, and working with you. But again, that's entirely up to you. If you don't, this course is my gift to you, and I have so much more I want to give you. So keep an eye out on your inbox, and I'll be sending you some more secret stuff in the next couple of days.